Today I am going to introduce you to wide bandgap semiconductors. Consider a scenario where you have an electric vehicle, you want to recharge it, and for that you set up your charger and plug it into your vehicle. In this case, the charger acts as an interface between the home charging point of yours and electric vehicle battery. It will take a couple of hours to get charged, but what could be done if you want it to get charged within a few minutes? If you want it to get charged within a few minutes, for that we need to delve into the electric vehicle charger and understand how it works. An electric vehicle charger is nothing but a power converter which will take the high voltage AC input and convert it into the voltage that is suited for an electric vehicle battery. For faster charging, one thing we can do is improve the efficiency of the converter. In this case, we are ensuring that less amount of power is lost in conversion process and most of it is fed to the battery. There is another thing we can do. These power converters have switches implemented in them which turn on and off at very high frequencies, and so the output voltage is maintained at the same level. If we can somehow increase the switching frequency in the charger, we can charge our battery faster. To understand this, ask yourself a question: why do we need to communicate at higher and higher frequencies? In 4Gs we use 700 to 2500 MHz of frequency range. In 5Gs we will use 28 to 39 GHz of frequency range. The answer is because we want to transmit more and more data in less amount of time. Same thing applies to power converters. With higher switching frequency, we can feed far more power in less amount of time. The problem currently is that the power converters use silicon based devices for switching, which can't switch at a rate faster than few hundred kilohertz of frequencies. So we are stuck at some power density and can't feed more power to the battery in a fixed amount of time. To deal with this, a new breed of semiconductors need to be introduced, which are wide bandgap semiconductors. Wide bandgap semiconductors fall somewhere between semiconductors and insulators. Silicon carbide is one of the widely used wide bandgap semiconductor, which has a bandgap energy of 3.4 electron volt as compared to 1.1 electron volt for silicon. And another widely used is gallium nitride. Silicon carbide devices can have the ability to switch 100 to 1000 times faster than their silicon counterparts. The power density that we can get is drastically higher in this case. If we talk about efficiency, silicon carbide based solar inverter can achieve efficiency up to around 86.5% and losses can be reduced from about 13 to 16%. In addition to this, they operate at higher voltage range, they are thermally stable and much more. But all of this doesn't come for free. A dedicated device driver is needed to operate the wide bandgap based devices at their full potential. They have issues like leakage, threshold voltage instabilities, etc. But one of the prominent problems is created due to EMI, electromagnetic interference, and parasitic capacitances and stray inductances on PCBs. During the turn on and turn off of the device, ringing and oscillations can be observed during transients. The peak of these oscillations can be so much higher, can be of so much higher voltage level, which can lead to a catastrophic failure. Therefore, the oscillations and ringing must be suppressed to a lower peak. And there are various strategies to deal with this. One effective technique is to use a ferrite bead with the device and adding an LCL filter using resistive damping at the output. The result shown is of one such study, but there are various ongoing studies to tackle with the issues associated with wide bandgap based devices. Wide bandgap technology will allow us to transmit power over longer distance, reduce losses in the power transmission and conversion significantly, and in turn lead us to a greener future. Thank you.